I don't know if it's just me, but hiking gear seems to be getting more and more expensive. Luckily, with all of these items, they cost next to nothing, they're really lightweight, and some of them I've even got out of the bin. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Now these hills are getting quite steep, so I think it's time to deploy item number 1. So the item in question is this strap system that I keep on my shoulder strap of my backpack, and this allows me to keep my hiking poles nice and accessible, meaning I don't have to take my backpack off to get access to them. And to make this system, I attached 2 pieces of elastic to my backpack shoulder strap, one from an old backpack that I wasn't using anymore, and the other I found just lying around the house. Now I've got to give a big thank you to one of my viewers who actually recommended this item to me. Big thank you to this person here for commenting on a previous video and letting me know about this. So now I can access my hiking poles, use them when I need to, and then put them away without even taking my backpack off. And hiking poles can actually have so many more uses than just getting you up and down hills. I keep a piece of black tape wrapped around one of the sections of my hiking pole, and to be honest with you, I don't even notice it's there most of the time, but whenever I have a rip in my sleeping pad, my tent or my raincoat, I know I can easily patch it up with this piece of tape here. When you get to your campsite and you're putting your tent up, you may find that you break a tent peg if you use your foot or a rock. And I've seen a lot of people recommend using a plastic bottle top for this. But again, the hiking pole comes in handy. These little rubber feet are made to withstand so much force, so they're actually perfect for pushing your tent stake in without damaging your hand or breaking the tent peg. Well, as you can probably hear, the wind has definitely picked up, so I think I need to get some warmer clothes on because I'm freezing. Oh, that's better. The weather has definitely shifted now and I'm getting quite cold. I've tried to find a spot that's out of the wind, but I would love a cup of coffee and something to eat. In my cook kit, I keep a small section of foam sponge, and this allows me to not only clean my pot, but it stops my gas canister from rattling around inside when I'm on the move. When I'm hiking, I get very hungry, and when I finally get to eat something, I want it to be as flavorful as possible. That's why I keep a couple of these in my kit bag, just in case what I'm eating doesn't taste that great. And just a sauce sachet, it could be ketchup, barbecue sauce. Today, I've got good old English HP sauce. So let's get this in our bacon roll. This bowl actually came from Costco with soup in it, but now my cook kit fits so perfectly inside it that it makes an amazing mug. When it's windy like it is today, it can be really tricky to get your stove to perform efficiently. So I made this windshield out of a cereal box and some foil. So this just goes in the direction the wind is coming from around my stove. And then to get it to stay where I want it, I've used these barbecue skewers which go through the shield and down into the ground to make sure it doesn't blow away. And sorry to my wife, because she doesn't know I've commandeered these barbecue skewers for my camping kit. So my frameless hiking bag is really lightweight but full featured, and I love it. But the one thing that it doesn't come with is a rain cover. That's why instead of using a rain cover on the outside of my backpack, I use an everyday bin bag which lines the inside of my pack. So rather than the rain cover being on the outside of the bag, this just slots into the bag, and then all of the gear that I want to keep dry just goes inside the bin bag. And a couple of bonus uses for your bin bag. When you're in your tent and there's condensation on the inside, your sleeping bag might get wet where your feet are. So if you put the foot box of your sleeping bag into the bin bag, then your feet and your sleeping bag won't get wet. Also, the following morning when you're on your way back to your vehicle after your night of camping, you might come across a lot of trash. So you can use that bin bag to do a bit of a litter pick on your way back to your vehicle. Ladies, I'm very sorry, but this one might be a little bit trickier for you. Picture this, it's the middle of the night, you wake up in your tent, you're lovely and warm, but you need to pee. Do you get up and maybe wake yourself up even more? Or do you bring something along like this? So this is just a 500 milliliter bottle, ideally with a wide neck, and you can pee in here and you don't even have to get out of your tent. Needless to say, there's probably no need for a demo on this one. In the front pocket of my hiking backpack, I always keep a microfiber cloth. And this comes in really useful, not only to wipe down the condensation on the inside of my tent, but also as a very small but very effective towel if I come across a lake or a stream, or I get to a campsite that has showers. Now, lots of people like to use Crocs or sandals as their shoes for when they get to camp, but I found that by far the cheapest and lightest camp shoes that you can get are these. So these are actually bread bags, so they're completely free. All you have to do is buy a loaf of bread, but you're probably going to do that at some point anyway, right? And I can hear what you're thinking, that these won't make very good camp shoes for very long when you start walking around in them and they start to rip, but bear with me. Now, sometimes your shoes won't be wet at all, but if you've just done a day of hiking, maybe it's in the rain as well, then your shoes could be soaked through with sweat or rainwater. So you wouldn't want to put those on around camp and in the middle of the night. So with these bread bags, you can just slide them into your shoe, loosen up the laces a bit, and then put your foot into the bread bag. Now, you're not going to win any prizes looking like this, but I can assure you that your feet will stay dry even though you've got your wet shoes on. Now, when you get to camp and it's quite late, chances are you want to be as stealthy as possible, and turning on your head torch might be a real risk. So even on the dimmest setting, my head torch is just too bright and I don't need all of that brightness. And as I said, it is only going to draw attention to me if I'm trying to be stealthy. So I need a way of diffusing that light to not only make it softer, but make it much less visible. Luckily, in my ditty bag, I always have some toilet roll, so a couple of sheets of this should do the trick. So if I curl the toilet roll around the head torch, and then I use the elastic strap to strap it all in, as you can see, that does a really nice job of diffusing that light, making it a lot softer and a lot less visible, and it can still hang from the top of my tent to illuminate everything I need to see at night. Well guys, if you enjoyed this video and you found it useful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if you want another video all about DIY hiking gear, check this one out up here. Thanks for watching. Bye.